Soup, soup, let's start the show.
Welcome to the Neverdaily podcast, episode 3112.
0.3.
Minus, it's too early for math. We are back with a great episode prepared and curated for your earballs. Going to jump right in. Chase, I'm going to hit you with some of This Is True, because it's not only something I like to bring to the show, it literally is something I enjoy reading when I wake up in the morning.
I don't believe you.
I've actually always really liked News of the Weird. When I was engineer at HP, I used to log on to News of the Weird. I think it's newsoftheweird.com, I think. And I would print off the whole day of News of the Weird, and I would use that as my bathroom reading material at HP. So I'd just go in the bathroom and read News of the Weird while I hid from responsibility.
Did you staple it and leave it for the next person?
No. We did print off fun fact and on share. People might not know this, but if you're working on, actually most printers do it, but especially laser jets, corporate laser jets, business laser jets, it keeps track of everything that's been printed. And so there's a history on the printer.
Yeah. The other thing that some businesses will do is they'll log all of their Wi-Fi activity. So if you access something on your phone, they know exactly what websites you're going to, what you're looking at, when you're looking at it.
Yep.
All that fun stuff.
Yep. We had a couple different, on our corporate machines at HP, you had to type in a code to use it, and it was a department code. So we would just find other departments' codes and then use their department codes when we had to print off something untoward.
Mm-hmm. We used to do that with door codes. We would just get other people's door codes and make it look like they're coming and going at weird hours.
Okay. All right, here we go. And Post, the postal service for the Republic of Ireland, had to quickly come up with an explanation after issuing a new stamp featuring Daniel O'Connell. It shows him after being released from prison in 1844, being paraded through the streets of Dublin as the, quote, the liberator of Ireland. The problem? The roof of a building in the background sports a TV antenna. Television didn't come to Ireland for another 105 years. No, insists AN Post. An Post? It's AN Post, but it's An Post. No, insists An Post. The image was not generated by AI, but rather by artist David Rooney, who included some sort of visual signal to link to the very modern global range and impact of O'Connell.
Yeah, that's that. Yep, that's yeah.
O'Connell's methods in terms of communications and galvanizing the population were thoroughly modern. Hence, he says, the inclusion of a sort of artistic anachronism to link those very points.
You smell that? It smells like bullshit.
Oh, yeah, that one's good. Lindsay, age 35, and Tim Pierce, age 34 of London, Ohio, are now proud parents of Thaddeus Daniel Pierce. After 7 years of trying to have a baby, the couple opted to adopt an embryo, and baby Thaddeus was the result. In a way, their son is nearly as old as his parents. Why? His embryo was frozen by Linda Archard, now 62, in 1994. One of her 4 embryos went on to lead to a successful pregnancy, and the other 3 were donated. The baby has a 30-year-old sister, Lindsay said. Dr. John Gordon, who operates the Rejoice Fertility Clinic, where the IVF was done, said the embryo was cryopreserved for more than 30 years, 11,148 days, making him the longest frozen embryo ever to result in a live birth. That didn't matter to the parents. Quote, "We didn't go into this thinking we would break any records," Lindsay said. "We just wanted to have a baby." I wonder when that baby is born, does he also get a retirement plan?
He's already on Social Security. He's on Medicaid already.
There's an argument to be made there, I think.
I mean, technically, every woman ever born her cells are as old as her mother is.
Yeah, yes. Isn't that crazy? That's
But
crazy.
that doesn't work the other way. Dudes are just like a week old.
Yeah, we're
if that.
cranking them out. If you got a free pen from Michigan State University's surplus store, you might want to take a close look at it. The store gave away pens during its teacher sale, and some are good for more than just writing. Opposite the pen tip, they have a flashlight tip. And if you separate the two ends, you'll reveal a blade.
Nice.
The store would like recipients of these pens to get in touch by email.
There was my one of my friends, she used to work at a print store in high school, and we used to go in and hang out with her because she'd get bored at work. And one time my other buddy, like, she was talking, like, she was making fun of him, so he's just like, "Shut up," and he's standing by this cup of pens, so he just grabs one and chucks it at her. It wasn't a pen that he grabbed. There was like 20 pens in there and one X-Acto knife. And he grabbed the X-Acto knife and chucked it at her across the room, and it literally stuck into her leg, like a movie. Like, it just went thunk, and it was just just like wobbling in her leg, and she just goes, "What did you do?"
What did you do?
And yeah, she kept those jeans too, and every time she'd wear them, she'd be like, "Look, see this little cut right here? That was when Bo stabbed me."
My dad, one time, I might have told this story before. He was at work construction, and he'd keep an extra pair of clothes in the back of his car, but there was a pair of jeans that he just never got around to wearing because, it's nice to have an extra pair of jeans on site and stuff, if your jeans got torn or whatever, but not the most regularly replaced item in I need to change my clothes really quick routine. So they stayed in the back of his car, and the back of the car had a window. And they were back there so long that finally he did need them. There was an incident. He needed them, so he went and grabbed that pair of jeans and put them on. Didn't notice that in the back of the car were also strewn various and sundry items. And when he put them on, there was a spatula shape tattooed into the jeans because there had been a spatula laying on top of the pant leg, and the sun just bleached everything around the spatula. So he wore spatula jeans for a long time.
Nice spatula, sir.
Yes. I got one more for you. Hawaii is known as a hotspot wedding destination, obviously, and one was just about to get started in Kauai when sirens started blaring. Not just any sirens, though. Tsunami sirens. The unnamed couple was required to leave the beach and retreated to a hillside. It's unclear what happened to their officiant, but the couple was left without one. Quote, "I happened to be off that day, and I got a call from an on-duty fire captain up there," says Kauai firefighter Abraham Moore, who officiates weddings on the side. Quote, "The lady is in her wedding dress, hair done, ready to go. The guy's in a tuxedo. Can you be here?" I said, "Yeah, give me 5 minutes. We're just down the road." He showed up wearing a t-shirt and jeans and read the service from his phone, but the couple was happy to be able to tie the knot, still in view of the ocean.
That's my
And
favorite.
other evacuees.
That's my favorite place on planet Earth.
That one mountain?
Kauai.
Oh. Oh, my sister Hannah is getting married next week.
Congrats.
In town here. And she she's having a bridal shower, and the theme is like not gothic, but it's like she's a huge Harry Potter fan, and so it's supposed to be like dark and moody is the theme for the bridal shower. So my wife and my two little daughters are going, and they does your wife do this when she buys stuff? She's like, let me go put it on. I want to show you. Does she do that?
Sometimes.
So I have 3 of those. Let me look what we got. Let me show you, people in my family. And so it's gotten to be a routine so much that because they love going to the consignment
Mm-hmm.
clothing places, and it's gotten to be such a routine, and it's like a chore now. They come home and they're like, Dad, we want to show you what we got. And I'm like, okay, so I need to block out the next 30 minutes because nothing just comes out of the bag and they hold it up. They have to put it on. And so they'll scatter like mice. I just lay on the bed because I'm like, you've consigned me to this task, so I'm going to be comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So I lay on the bed while everybody goes to their various corners of the house, changes into their new attire, and comes and shows me. And it's fun. It's one of those tasks that like you never ask for.
Yeah.
But it's a memory, you know, now. So plus it always usually because I've got the best family in the world, because I sit through the whole showing like I'm at the New York Fashion Festival or something. They're always like, okay, now you can take a nap because I'm already on the bed. Somebody draws the curtains and they're like, we'll see you in a half hour. And I'm like, yay. So I just roll over. So it's fashion nap time.
Yeah. Fashion nap.
I saw a really cool shirt the other day. And it's, I think they sell it, but it's at this one organization where they employ a lot of autistic people.
Mm-hmm. Are they
And
hiring?
what's that?
Are they hiring?
No, I keep
Oh.
applying. I keep over and over. But so one of the tendencies with autistic people is they're very matter of fact. Like, for example, yesterday I'm helping Sam. So I need to remember this. You know, I've talked about my son Sam 2.0 in the past, and how he registered on the autistic spectrum. The neuroscientist that did the assessment for Sam said labeling Sam as having autism would be a gross misrepresentation because he spiked on the chart for 3 things and they all had to do with memory. I've talked about this before. Like, for example, he could play with a kid all day long, have the best time in the world. And I'd be like, what's his name? And he's like, I don't remember. You know, so there's just certain things where he just opts to not keep it in his brain, but it registers on, you know, the spectrum of things that they say are, you know, factored in as autistic traits. But one thing that Sam does, excuse me, one of the things that Sam does that I would say is not relative just to autistic people, but he definitely does it, is he can be very matter of fact about things. So I'm helping him with a resume yesterday. He's actually looking to edit for this other podcast that's not even associated with me or anything like that, and I think that's cool. So he's writing this letter of intent. He's got to write one.
Mm-hmm.
So he sends me his resume. I take the resume, I pop it into ChatGPT, and I'm like, we need to write a letter of intent. Da, 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 da. It cranks out a baseline letter, right? Which, you know, we all kind of, well, certain people would mock that today, say, oh, it's, you know, AI wrote it. Well, yeah, go back to the 90s and let me introduce you to Resume Builder.
Yeah.
You know,
or
the
paper
early
clip.
Yeah.
I see you're writing a resume.
let me help you format it, or the
Yeah.
early 2000s where, monster.com like gave you the templates. So it's, I mean, you shouldn't get the job if you just copied and pasted what AI wrote. But anyway, so I pasted in and we're sharing this doc between the two of us, Apple Note, so I can kind of see him editing and he can see me editing. I pasted in and he's like, well, that's AI. And I was like, well, yeah, it's a baseline though.
Mm-hmm.
It's relevant because it read your whole resume and then wrote a letter of intent as an associate, And he's like, yeah, well, I'm not going to just send in something. I'm like, you rewrite it. So now below, and let me click here and the cursor blinking below. And I'm like, you use this as a reference and now you can write it in your voice.
Yeah.
And his response to me was, you know what? I think I'll probably just have my mom help me because she's better. And I was like,
right in the nuts.
okay, cool. I've written 1,000 resumes and received 1,000. Cool though. Cool. That was offensive.
Mm-hmm.
And, sometimes I'm just like, I'll cut the conversation short because if he says something that, I love to help my son. Love to help my kids. But if you're going to smack me around and then get the help, I'll be like, see ya.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, that was offensive. Okay, well, good luck. And I'll talk to you later. And he texts me right away and he's like, I didn't mean she's better than you. I meant she's better at this because she has more context into the gal that I'm sending the resume to. Because it's association with her husband.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, yeah, totally fine. But it reminded me of this shirt that I saw in this reel where they employ all these autistic people, and the reel like had them coming in and saying very matter of fact things to other employees, and the other employee would like snap at them because what they said was very matter of fact, or maybe a little bit. It could be deemed as confrontational or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so the routine was they'd come in, they'd say something, and the other person would snap at them, and then they just hold out the front of their shirt, and the shirt said, oh gosh,
I don't think it said that.
It said, "Oh, don't hear what I didn't say."
Oh, okay.
I really like that.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that. Honestly, I think we could take a page from that for everybody because, this day and age where we're so, easy to swipe at each other and call I also like another quote I heard recently, which says, in dialogue and discourse and even disagreement, we should learn to debate, not diagnose.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, if I have a position and you have a position and you tell me your position, you're giving me your position on the subject. My job is to give you my position on the subject. And maybe we both remember that we're probably not there to change each other's mind, but the audience that's listening then has all the information they can.
Mm-hmm.
My job is to provide my view on that, not to diagnose. And the diagnose part comes in. You give me your position, and then I say, well, you are a like I'm some prescriber of now, not the like I can simply sum you up because you have a position on X. I don't have to share my position. I feel I can just diagnose you as something. You are a racist, or you are this or that. That's not winning an argument.
No.
It's a fallacy, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's one of a logical fallacy. I love that. But I really liked that shirt. I liked that it said, don't hear what I didn't say.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it really kind of struck me because there's a lot where especially, in conversation with Sam's very circumspect. He's very chill, very hard to rattle him. And for somebody that's, a little more chronically right, as I believe I am.
Also canonically right?
Canonically right, yeah, maybe. But anyway, that was a long-winded way of saying that was a cool shirt.
Yeah. I like shirts. I have lots of them in my closet.
Did you just okay?
I'm just trying to level with you. I'm just trying to,
Yeah,
that's my
appreciate
tism
it.
is going. I know what you're talking about. I'll give an experience too.
Oh gosh. The other day I was kind of bemoaning on Discord. People were like, "Hey, I need new merch." And I was like, "Yeah, I just kind of feel like I'm like I don't think anybody wants another 1159 logo shirt or something, you know." And historically, the last flash sale I did was the worst one we've ever done sales wise. Like it was in the teens, the number of people that bought something, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not complaining at all. I'm grateful that there's that, but the effort that goes into everything, you know, creating the designs, getting the designs produced, you know, the
You
effort,
get
the labor.
you get Napoleon Dynamite when he counts his money from working at the chicken farm, and he's just like, "That's like $1 an hour."
Yeah. Yeah, because everything that goes into it. I mean, I like to tell people come and be like, would you do we've got to go to a family reunion. Would you do a custom shirt for me and my husband? You know, and I'm like, just so you know, 2 shirts takes almost the same amount of time as 100 shirts because the bulk of the work is everything except for making the shirt itself. The making
Yeah.
the shirt itself is it's very fast. It's everything around it. So I was kind of complaining on Discord, not complaining, but I was just like, yeah, I don't really know. I'm kind of out of ideas. And then I said, I might, maybe I'll do a Halloween shirt. I gotta kick it out the door and be really fast on this one because I want people to have them for Halloween if I do it.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of around the witch kind of theme. I don't know if it made much of a splash or if I even really promoted it very well, but I did last year. I did a 1619 Salem Survivor shirt, and so I might put that back out. And then another one I saw at that Halloween. What's the Halloween store that everybody goes to?
Oh, it's Halloween something.
Spirit.
Spirit Halloween.
Thank you. Wow, they were fast on Marissa and Cass. Were both like Spirit.
They had that preloaded for some
They
reason.
might have. I saw oh, happy birthday, Liz. Liz is
yeah.
in the back door. I just
Happy
saw that. Liz's
birthday.
birthday today. Happy birthday to our one and only Liz. I saw a shirt that they did, and my philosophy on merch is if you come up with a good like one-liner
Mm-hmm.
or something, it's fair game because I can design my own shirt around a one-liner.
Yeah.
It's, you know, I'm not going to steal anybody's graphic or anything, but one-liners are, you know, it's like comedy. It's like, you know, a joke adjusted is a new joke,
Yeah.
I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't really feel like it's intellectual property theft or anything like that. So, I saw one though, Easy Bake Coven. I love it so much. So I've come up with a design for Easy Bake Coven, and it's 2 children in the woods dancing around this little cute oven with floating pastries and then animals sitting there. But
Mm-hmm.
the glow of the oven like cuts the shadows behind all the animals and everybody dancing, and it kind of looks like Where the Wild Things Are illustrations. How I made it.
Uh-huh.
So I've got an Easy Bake Coven one, and then I've got a Black Magic Animal Rescue shirt, and it's just, you know, it's got cats and owls and crows and rabbits on it. So I don't know. I might put it out. I don't know. We'll see.
Might not.
Might not. We'll see if my depression gets the better of me on that one.
Hey, it's functional depression, sir.
It is. I put the oomph in functional.
I put the
depression.
F in functional depression.
All right. What'd you bring today, Oh wait. No, go ahead. Do your thing and then I got another thing.
Okay. So I'm going to talk about nature today and how nature is sometimes super cray-cray. We're going to take a very calm walk through the craziest stuff that you'll hear about the outsides. So I've been reading about some natures, which is already a mistake because I don't know how to read. So we're going to start slowly, like how I read.
Okay.
So birds. We all like birds. Most of us like birds, even if you just like eating chicken tenders, like you still like birds. They sing, they fly, they're graceful. Some of them taste pretty good. Turns out they also like to build stuff, and one of those things is nests. And lately, birds have been using a lot of garbage to build nests, and not just grass and twigs and stuff. They'll find anything and build it in their nest. Plastic, string, candy wrappers, cigarette butts, whatever we leave on the ground. Birds are like, yeah, that'll go great in the nursery. Just perfect for little Timmy's wing of the house. Wing of the house.
I've seen cocks strut frog in the morning light, falcons scooping fish with all their might, boobies do a dance that looks pretty legit, but I'm all about those awesome tits.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself. It was sort of like when somebody sends me tragic news and I send them an eggplant emojis.
Eggplant emojis, like 150 of them.
You hadn't really spun up the story yet, so I thought an interruption might. Okay.
So, roughly 176 different species, and you talked about some of them in your song. There, I tied it back in.
Thank you.
So I guess that's a trend or something, and not just a phase. Birds building, it's not just a phase. Just like my dad thought my emo music was a phase. It's not.
It's not for
Nope.
you. Definitely not.
Somewhere out there, there's even a robin with a Pinterest board called Upcycled Butts, and that's cigarette butts to be exact.
Oh.
Researchers even did a study focused on birds and their dirty habit of collecting cigarette butts, because apparently a lot of them do now. So imagine pitching that idea to your boss. So it's like, we want to know why birds are into used cigarette butts. We want to do a study on it. And their boss was like, okay, do it. And so now we have answers. So birds like to use used cigarette butts because it actually works and helps them out by getting rid of parasitic mites. So the nicotine acts as a like pest control type of thing. So the more cigarette butts birds put in their nests, the fewer bird mites they have.
Okay.
And so they even tested fake nests with new filters versus used filters, and the mites don't care about new filters, but they do not like used filters. So they say it's the nicotine in them that keeps mites away. So birds are literally using Marlboros to clean out their nests.
Wow.
Like, they're not just decorating, they're doing pest control. And the question is how do birds know this? Like, how do they know nicotine is toxic to mites, or is it just like a happy coinkydink? Like, who knows?
Yeah.
But they've noticed that birds will actually pass up on unfiltered cigarette butts. So like they're actually hunting out the filtered ones. Maybe they're getting a little hit from them. Who knows? But either way, they work. Like they're starting to use more and more cigarette butts in their nests and getting less and less mites in their wingages.
Interesting.
So I thought that was pretty cool. Maybe I'm just autistic, but I thought that was pretty cool.
I like that. I also learned yesterday, I watched a thing on porcupine quills, and they're terrible because they'll stab you, and then they've got little barbs that keep the quill in. But I also learned that there is something on the quills that helps prevent mites and other things like that. So if you get stabbed enough,
yeah, you
no
become
mites.
immune. It's like a vaccine, but for mites. All right, so now we're going to talk more about nature, this time about lightning. So, how people say don't stand under a tree during a thunderstorm?
Yeah.
But they also say don't stand out in an open field. And then they also say don't stand near water. And they also say don't stand near metal. So basically what the point is that you need to stop existing during thunderstorms. So
Pretty much.
Yeah. But there is a new reason to go inside when it rains, because especially if you're a tree, because trees get cooked by lightning a lot more than we ever thought. So a 2025 study says that, okay, if you had to guess how many trees you think get murdered by lightning every year, what's your guess?
Oh, gosh. I'm putting the number over 6.
Mm-hmm. How about 320 million trees
Whoa.
every year die because the sky got angry? So that's everybody in America every year dying.
Wow.
Like, that'd be the entire population of the United States dying every year from lightning strikes. And so using camera-based lightning detection systems in Panama, researchers also learned that these strikes aren't just one bolt, one tree. Sometimes it's one bolt and it's like, I'm going to play checkers, and it starts jumping from tree to tree, taking out an average of 3 trees per lightning bolt.
Oh, gosh.
And despite all of that, so remember the 320 million mark?
Yes.
Lightning is only responsible for 6.3% of tree deaths every year.
Okay, so that's an interesting number because 320 million are hit by lightning.
Mm-hmm.
It's only 6.3%
Yeah.
of tree deaths, which means that is an order of magnitude more of 320 million to get to 100% of tree deaths per
Mhm.
year. That is an order of magnitude over 320 million.
Yeah. And these are
that's just
natural.
the trees that die.
These are natural. These aren't man-made deaths, like man-made cutting trees and stuff.
Yeah.
This
That's
is
a
all.
lot of so I'm just trying to wrap my head around how many trees we have.
Yeah. So they did an estimate, and it's including they included like other like larger plants, like larger bushes and stuff. 50 billion plants annually die on the world.
Wow, that's a lot.
So yeah, and most trees get hit by lightning and they're done, and they expire faster than an avocado on your counter. But there is one tree out there who's just like, I love lightning, give me all of it, I want more.
Oh, I'm not going to kill your story, but I watched a thing on this the other day. It sucked me in.
And it's the species is Dipteryx oleifera, and it is a tree that apparently loves pain. And not only does it survive lightning strikes, but it actually thrives on lightning strikes. Researchers in 2015 saw one get hit, and it had a parasitic vine growing on it, and the lightning just cooked it off. And then the tree was just like, cool, thanks. And like nothing else happened. Like it's like a little cockroach of the trees. Totally fine. So basically lightning proof. And the other thing that's nice is when it gets struck by lightning. Remember how I said lightning jumps trees?
Mm-hmm.
So it'll get struck, and then it'll jump to the trees around it and kill them all, which is good for that tree because now it has more light, more water. It gets more nutrients out of the soil. So it's like it's almost like it uses lightning to take out its local competitors.
And I since you already mentioned this, I'm guessing maybe this little nugget isn't in your thing, but one of the reasons that they started looking into this tree was because they realized the area around the tree was like, it was like the other trees were scared of it. And they're like, why is there such a territory around this tree? Like, is there something in the root system? Is it,
Mm-hmm.
It took them a while, but they figured that out. They're like, man, it's electrocuting everything.
It's electrocuting everything. It's just like, yeah, it feels good. Give me some more.
Yeah.
So I have a question. If you could be proof against one thing, like lightning proof or cold proof or pretty girl proof, what would you pick and why?
Oh, man.
And for those who want to be pretty girl proof, it's actually really easy. Just wear a vest.
I don't know what I'd be proof. I really don't. Because I kind of feel like, and this is going to sound, I don't want it to sound all David Goggins, but I kind of feel like all the stuff that I bump into and that kind of rubs me the wrong way or whatever, kind of what makes you.
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like my ego would get too big if I were proof something.
Yeah, I wish I was like Doritos proof. Like, I wish they didn't have such a hold over my entire life and existence.
I guess, yeah, if I could pick one like guilty pleasure and not have it add fat to my body, that'd be good.
Mhm.
I'd take a beat though. I'd take a beat and try to figure out what I'd want to eat all the time.
For me, it'd probably just be chips.
Chips proof. You're
Yeah.
chips proof.
I could eat all the chips and salsa I want, all the chips and queso I want, all the Doritos I want, All the
Yeah.
dill pickle Lay's chips I want and never gain a pound.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's
Yeah,
a good one.
that's
I'd
what I would
probably
choose.
go for something like white rice, just because there's so much you can do to white rice.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also devoid of any nutritional value, at least in America.
It's a filler.
You know, not in Asia, but here for sure.
All right, now we're gonna go to Australia. We're gonna talk about the place where everything's trying to kill you. So in 1788, European settlers show up and cats wander off of the ships. Little cats that create big consequences. Excuse me. The ecosystem was definitely not ready, and over the following decades, the cats drove over a dozen species to extinction and pushed a lot more to the edge. And we're talking about like literal just house cats. They went feral. So
Whoa.
today, feral cats kill about 1.4 billion native mammals, reptiles, and birds every year in Australia. These are just feral cats. Pet cats kill another 390 million. And these cats are out here padding those stats, and it's a major PR problem and eco problem. And so Australian Parliament had to admit that cats are the main force behind mammal extinctions in the country. But then what do? Like, animal rights groups are like, you can't just kill them all. Like, you can't just because they're killing other things, you can't just kill them. So that's where they started this thing called Project Noah. They fence off areas, put native animals inside, and keep it cat-free. The first enclosure is 36 square miles in New Haven and was finished in 2018. Inside that sanctuary, species that are extremely vulnerable are making a big comeback. Like, it's actually working. So like some of these near extinction species are coming back in the no cat zones. And there's also no humans there too, so that probably has something to do with it. So if your town made a cat curfew, that's a fun word. Do you think people would follow it, or would the cats just learn to pick the locks like cat burglars?
I struggle with this one a bit because, like, on Ring Neighborhood Alert app or Nextdoor.com or, those neighborhood apps, there are a lot of people, and I get it because, they're fur babies, they're children, and they're like, my cat went missing. But my instant response is there isn't an animal that is more adept at surviving outside of your house than your cat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so but also I feel sad because cats are so good at not needing humans that they may just opt not to go back. They might be like,
We have a neighborhood cat, and one time our neighbor was like, "Oh, it's sad. It doesn't have a home." So they tried to like set it up a thing in their garage, and as soon as they got it in the garage and closed the door, it lost its mind. Like, it did not want to be enclosed. It did not want to be inside. And as soon as they open it up, it's like, okay, I'm happy again. Like, so yeah, there's some cats out there that they don't want a home. Like, they literally don't. They just want to chill and they want to run around and do their thing. And we still see that cat all the time. Comes and hangs out at all the neighbors' places. And yeah, it's just a neighborhood cat.
Yeah.
So
I've learned a lot from my in-laws. My in-laws have a farm. And they have farm cats, barn cats, and it's an actual utility on the farm. The cats keep the mice at bay, keep small rodents from, especially if you've got hay, things like that. The cats are a necessity, and then the cats will have babies, and then you just reach out to your farm friends and be like, "Got 6 cats." And somebody would be like, "I'll take 2."
yeah.
So it's kind of funny. My girls love it, and then they get kind of depressed. They'll come home and they'll be like, "Oh, they got rid of panko and swizzle sticks." I'm like, "Oh, dang it. How many are left?" And they're like, "There's only 9."
There's only 9 cats.
Oh, but then my wife will say something like, "Well, I think there's 8 because I think a hawk got one."
Yeah.
We've witnessed some pretty cool stuff out there.
My wife's
Nature.
boss, they've had some bobcats come in and take their shop. They have a shop cat because they have a big garage. They got a cat, as a mouser to keep mice out. And yeah, 2 cats in a row got bobcatted. They have it on their cameras.
Yeah, and see that's just nature being nature, right?
Mhm.
You know. Also kind of cool that bobcat shows up.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's where I live. There's a lot of also in my town, there's always people posting on the Facebook like, "Okay, time to put your dogs in. The mountain lions are back in town."
Right?
Like that's the kind of town I live in. Like, time to pull your cats and dogs in. The mountain lions are back. So there's 2 out there on this road this morning. And so yeah, you just got to be careful.
I used to live next to Cougar Mountain in Issaquah, Washington, and it was notorious. The mountain in the region was notorious for like people would be like, "Don't let your kids play in the backyard," because like there was an encounter where a mountain lion just showed up in the backyard, grabbed a kid by the head, and drug him off.
Mm-hmm. Which is
They're
crazy
tough.
because they usually only do that when they're starving.
Right.
Because they're usually very careful around humans. But yeah, anytime you see any like mountain lion videos, it's always either you're around their kittens or they're starving. Like
Yeah.
there's really no in betweens on those.
When you get attacked by a mountain lion, you're the last to know.
Yeah, you are.
Absolute last to know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're crazy. They're super crazy. There's like there's a whole YouTube video about people in Alaska because they had like, or Canada, because they put a hunting ban on mountain lions. And of course, what happens is then the mountain lions overhunt the area and then they starve. And then all of a sudden, they started getting a bunch of mountain lions in town attacking people and animals and all this stuff. And they're just like, nope, this is your fault for taking the hunting off of it because you're no longer managing the population. You're just letting things run wild and they need food. So, all right. Before we get too cotton cats. Did you know that orcas teach their young how to drown whales?
That's fun.
Yeah. So
I mean, crazy.
if orcas weren't scary enough, this in 2025, a BBC film crew was following a pod of killer whales in Western Australia. They wanted to film animal parents being parents, which is sweet. And then they saw the orcas literally teaching their pups how to drown whales. They were teaching them using each other as examples. They were literally covering blowholes. Like they were teaching them how to cover blowholes and then push the whales down deeper in the water to drown them.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, orcas now drown blue whales. So that's fun.
Crazy.
Yeah. Like, it's funny. People be like, oh, look, orcas. And then I'm just like, oh, look, one of the most violent killing machines ever to be on the planet.
Yeah. They'll take out great whites. I mean, they'll take it. I believe I'm right in this, that the orca has no known predator.
Nope.
In the ocean.
They also have the strongest bite force on the planet.
Wow.
Like, they have monster jaws. Like they can like bite a car. I think they said if their teeth could hold up to steel, they could bite cars in half.
Wow.
Just crunch them and like just shear them right in half. So like their jaws are basically on the level of like hydraulic presses, like almost on that same level. So yeah, they're crazy. But yeah, they and it's funny, people around here, we get orcas too. But then when you explain to people why they're here, it's because it's pup season for the seals and sea lions. And so they're there to eat babies.
Oh,
and then they go, oh, that's not as cute. And you're like, yep, they're here to eat babies. That's why they're here right now. Yep. And so, yeah, orcas are just crazy. Super cool. They're pretty. But yeah, they're psycho. They're literally psychotic killers. And they also kill for fun, too. They're one of those kinds of animals where they'll kill not even to eat.
Or they'll play with their food. Like I've seen them flipping seals into the air with their tails, stuff like that. Cannon Beach, right near you. A really popular beach, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We went there one time and there was a big bull seal dead on the beach with just these huge, huge teeth mark on the side. Like I was looking at that and I'm like, I could drop Bean right through that mouth, whatever. Yeah. Killed that bull seal. There's some crazy stuff right offshore.
Yeah. It was funny. My wife was, I was like, yeah, because someone said something about great white shark. She's like, they're here. I'm like, they're the entire West Coast. They love they love the entire west coast of the United States, from
Yep.
Alaska down all the way down to South America. But yeah, and so she was already afraid of the ocean before that, so now she's even more afraid of the ocean.
Yeah.
So I have a question. As a parent or just a person, what's the wildest thing you practiced as a family? Like,
Wow.
you probably weren't drowning. Like, you probably weren't having your kids practice drowning you to then drown other things.
Hmm.
So what's some crazy stuff? Or maybe it's a family you know.
I mean, I talked about it before. I mean, I didn't do it, but the family that I knew in Alabama, where the dad was a martial arts expert and trained his boys to be literal weapons. It was a beautiful thing that they were trained so exquisitely, but when you get really into it, the reason they were trained is because the dad had so much rage. Like, it was an outlet for him. He was very type A, very, so the reasons he did it were a little, it's sort of like, the bad guy with the scar across his face in oh no, the tall blue people movie,
Avatar.
Avatar. It's like if that guy had two sons,
Oh yeah.
So watching that, I was like, wow, that's beautiful and tragic.
So to a different analogy, he's more like Cobra Kai instead of Miyagi-Do.
Yes.
It's attack versus defense, right? Like the ultimate attack karate versus defense karate.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
He was the attack side.
Yeah.
Strike hard, strike fast.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's lots of there's actually a fun guy on YouTube who was special forces, and he teaches his kids how to like clear houses and stuff with their Nerf guns.
Oh, cool.
And like he'll actually do drills with them where he'll have them be in fortifications, and he'll come in with his Nerf gun and like, just take them out, like just methodically, just teaching them how to like, he just makes all these videos, and these kids are like 6 or 7 years old, and he's coming in his full tactical gear, but then he has a Nerf gun. Like, he even threw a little fake flashbang in one time to distract them, and then just came in and just pop, double tapped each of them, and was just like, "Okay, you lost again."
You lost.
So that was pretty funny.
It is eye-opening, when like so many of us don't spend any time on self-defense, things like that. It is eye-opening. Watching the eyes of somebody that goes to like jujitsu for the first time, or some tough guy who goes to jujitsu.
Yeah.
Seeing how quickly they don't understand human body mechanics and how quickly they lose, it's astonishing. I think to a lot of people, I know there's a place in town. A lot of towns have them, but where you can go and learn how to clear a room, how you should, take corners in your own house and everything from a self-defense standpoint.
How to hold positions if there's more than one of you, so no one can come up from behind and all that kind of stuff.
You walk away from that going, I should have been more scared. Not with what I didn't know, but then you get a little bit of knowledge and you're like, boy.
That's where like you realize the whole phrase ignorance is bliss is a completely true thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you just have no idea until you learn, and then you're like, I wish I didn't know that because I want to go back to being a sheep.
Yeah.
It's more fun to be sheep.
I'll pitch myself for a second here. I released yesterday on Patreon. It'll drop on Tuesday on all the feeds. But I've added a new thing to the 911 calls feed called Laster Day News, and it's my feeble attempt to capture some of the stories that come across my wire as I'm doing research for bigger deep dives.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stuff, there's a lot of like crazy stories. Probably don't really have. They may never have an ending to them. It's in the news, might not care enough about it, but it's wild enough to make their headline for a minute. So I jump on these, and the one I covered was a guy who got shot at his own home after a 911 call came through, and the dispatcher put in the wrong address.
Ooh.
And I don't know what he's thinking though, but he decided to kind of take an odd position at his own home, and it looked like a defensive position to the cops. He drops his weapon, but they unloaded.
Ugh.
And it immediately got me thinking back to something I'd done this some research on how many walls a 9mm bullet could go through unencumbered
Mhm.
if it didn't hit wood or anything like that. And the number's astonishing.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Astonishing. And a lot of bullets made it through this guy's house. It's crazy.
Mhm. Yeah, that's what people don't understand. Like, even if you decide to do the self-defense thing, you also, like, I have neighbors. Like, you can't just be shooting everything, you know what I mean? Like, because you could have bullets go through walls and hit things you're not supposed to hit.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's the joke of having like a 357 Magnum as your home defense gun? Is like, oh, that way you can shoot the intruder through 3 walls and the fridge.
Yeah. Or
Well-
your 3-year-old.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like,
So yeah, there's a lot that goes into it.
yeah.
But another thing I was going to bring up, you know who Eddie Hall is?
Oh, yeah. Strongman.
Yeah, so he did a little video once where he was with an MMA fighter, and he was like, he told the guy, "Hey, can you just kick me in the leg?" Like, and the guy's like, "No, you can't handle it." And
Yeah.
and this is literally like one of the strongest men in the world, and he's like, "I think I can handle it." And he's like, "No, but I do have someone who will kick you in the leg," and he brings in like a 12-year-old kid, and I think it's his kid he's teaching MMA, and he goes, "Okay, he's gonna kick you, Eddie, now right in the leg," and so the guy's just laughing. The kid kicks him and almost drops this dude. Like,
Yeah.
he's just like, "Oh, ow, ow, ow." He's like, "Okay, I understand now." He's like, "I'm really glad I didn't have you kick me."
Yeah.
Because like a 12-year-old, he's like, this is what we train for. He's like, because you have to deaden nerves. Like, I had a boss who was in the Marines, and they had drills where all they were doing were deadening nerves in each other.
Yeah.
Where they were just kicking each other in the shin with their shins over and over, and they'd have to do that with their arms. Like, they would just sit there and hit each other in the arms, and it's literally to deaden your nerves so you don't feel as much pain.
In a recent UFC, a couple back, one of the fighters got kicked just right in the knee, near the knee, and it just turned the nerves off to his foot,
Mm-hmm.
and he couldn't stand anymore on
Yeah.
the foot, and it was out. It was over. He was functionally fine.
Yeah.
But the nerves were turned off, and
Yep.
so he had to go through some therapy for that. I remember I was somewhere, and I was talking to a guy who did Krav Maga, and I was like, Krav Maga is what the best way to put it is it's pain compliance. So it's knowing the body functionally so well that through minor effort on your part, you're making the other person comply through sheer pain.
Yeah.
And I was like, give me an example. And so he shook my hand, and he just took my thumb, and my thumb was, I don't even know what you'd call that, just bent in, right?
Yeah.
A little bit of pressure beyond what I'm used to. I was on the floor.
Yeah.
I was like, how many techniques do you have? He's like, I can show you another one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just standing there, and he just reaches forward and grabs the side of the side of my torso.
Yeah.
He just goes "Rah," and grabs the side of my torso like he's grabbing a pitcher of like a pitcher of water or like a jug of milk. He just grabs the skin on my side.
Yeah.
And just grabs it. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I never want to meet you in a dark alley. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's so many of these, tactics and techniques where it's funny when you know those types of people are out there and they know the body so well. And then you watch all these like fight videos of like street fights, and everybody's swinging for each other's head, which is
Yeah.
the smallest target. Everybody's going for these like money shots to like, turn someone's lights out. And there's
that's
so
like-
many other ways.
I think Joe Rogan was talking about it because, like, most people know Joe Rogan is actually like a almost professional level fighter.
he has
multiple black belts and in different kinds of fighting styles. And he was just saying, like, most of the time, if you're fighting someone who doesn't know how to fight, he's like, all you have to do is just cover your head and just let them swing on you.
Wear them out.
Because he's like, they got maybe 30 seconds and then they're gassed. Like, they can't
Yeah.
even lift their arms anymore. And then you get to do whatever you want
Right.
because they can't move anymore and they're out of breath. He's like,
Yeah.
he's like, if you're fighting someone who doesn't know how to fight, just stand there and cover your head. He said, and cover your chin. He said, that's all you got to really do.
You're right. They're gassed in almost no time. I watched a guy walk up to a guy, and he knew exactly what he was doing. He just walked up calmly and didn't take any swings or anything. He just turned his foot sideways and then stood on both of the guy's toes. And the guy absolutely lost his balance. Like, he just fell to the ground because there's like nothing you can do about it because your reaction is to lean back. So he just stepped on his toes, and the guy's like, whoop, bonk.
Bonk. They just walked away. Oh, man. All right.
Geez.
We're going to go. I got one more, and then we'll. So, here we go. You ready for this one?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of a beach apple?
A beach apple?
A beach apple.
Oh, no.
Sounds delicious, right?
Wait, are those green things that are floating all over?
They look like a little apple, but they smell and taste like a sweet plum. Doesn't that sound nice?
One. Sure does.
And you're probably thinking, this is delightful. And that's how they get you. One time, a medical professional took a bite, and he paid for it the hard way. So what happens when you eat the fruit? Internal bleeding, severe throat swelling, cardiac abnormalities, and death. And that's for people who aren't even allergic to it. That's a lot for a little plum apple. If you rub against the tree bark, you get chemical burns. So every part of this tree is trying to kill you. And it tastes delicious, apparently.
That's unfortunate.
So yeah, your best bet is if you see these trees, you just wave at them from your car and just keep driving. But yeah, they're called what are they called? The murder apple, basically.
Murder fruit.
Murder
Cassie
fruit.
in the back door said murder fruit.
Yeah, Christopher Columbus came into contact with this thing a long time ago, and that's what he called it, was the death apple.
Did he tell you that?
Yeah, he told me that in a message on Marco Polo.
That's funny. Good job with the joke, because like Marco Polo, Christopher.
That was right off the top of my noggin too.
That was really good. I just learned this, which is this. I find this as a unique fact because we all know, like, especially old timey people, they're like, "You got a problem? Castor oil. That'll help you. That'll take care of your ailments." However, it's curious that we ever got to the point where we even think about trying castor oil, because the castor bean, one bean will kill you. So I'm not quite sure how they got to the point where, like, this bean, oh man, one bean's killing people. But I wonder if there's a way, if we extracted something from it, if it would not kill us, but could be helpful. Like, how many people did they go through where they're like trying to figure out all the ways to use a castor bean for medicinal benefit, but not kill you? Because they're like, well, okay, if we do it this way and we squeeze it out, oh, it makes the oil. But what if we ground it up? What if we ground it up and converted it this way? Oh, that didn't work. That's ricin. The castor bean is has the most frightening alternatives. It's like a choose your own adventure bean.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
It like does a lot of good if you use it just right.
Apparently, we are the most susceptible to the castor bean, though. We die if we ingest or consume one bean. A duck, on the other hand, dies only after 200. And I gotta kind of believe, I'm looking at a duck and then I'm looking at a pile of 200 castor beans. I'm like, yeah, but I know why it died. It didn't die from the attributes of the bean. You just basically stuffed a duck.
Yeah. Isn't there something with like sheep and anthrax, how they can like take like 100 times more anthrax than a human can before it even affects them?
I don't know.
I think there's like a correlation between sheep and anthrax.
That'd be a hard one to test, because you're like, dust, dust, dust.
Yeah.
And you're waiting to see what happens. And you're like, bonk, da 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 da. Like, it'd be a hard one. It reminds me, there was actually a kid in high school. He was the one where if you wanted LSD, you got it from this kid. And he ended up dying because he would hang the sheets in his bathtub like he's doing laundry, and then he'd spray the sheets acid. Did I say LSD? I meant acid.
Acid.
With acid,
Isn't
and
it?
wasn't
They're
thinking of
pretty
the
almost the same.
aerosol. Da-na-na-na.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Acid and LSD are the same thing. Street
they?
name.
Oh, I didn't know that. Learn something new every day.
That's what Google said. I was pretty sure. But yeah, acid's just a street name. Dropping tabs.
Well, cool. All right, I got something for you. This song is so ubiquitous, meaning it's everywhere and it's so recognizable. I'll bet I can just terribly sing the tune, and you've heard it before. Na 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 na.
Mm-hmm.
You heard it?
Yeah.
You know the name?
Fur
Fur Elise.
Elise is fur.
But that's how common knowledge it is you can recognize the tune and kind of ham-fistedly make your way through the name of it, even if you didn't get it right. That's how common it is that people that could care less about it know it, So check this out. I'm going to play a little video for you about Fur Elise, which I found this so fascinating. Fun fact, you'll learn this in the video, but I want to steal it from the guy that I'm going to show it to you from. Fur Elise was never released during Beethoven's life.
It was a hidden track.
Yeah, it was a hidden track. Yeah. It was like All by Myself on Green Day's track.
Mm-hmm.
On Green Day's album. All right, here we go. Check this out. This is I got to make sure I'm not on Awesome Tits. Okay, here we go. Uh-oh. Why isn't it working? Give me a second. Because it's not working.
What if the most famous piano piece in the world doesn't actually sound the way everyone thinks it does? Für Elise or Für Elise was not published during Beethoven's lifetime. An 1810 manuscript of the piece was reportedly discovered by a German musicologist named Ludwig Noll, and he transcribed it for publication 40 years after the death of Beethoven. That transcription created by Noll is the piece Für Elise that people play today. But that manuscript that he was transcribing from went missing shortly after. In 1984, another transcription was made, this time by an English musicologist named Barry Cooper. And that first manuscript I'd mentioned had gone missing. But Barry Cooper used another Beethoven manuscript from 1822, much later, when Beethoven was probably revising Für Elise to actually prepare it for publication himself. That version sounds quite different from the piece that people play today. For almost the entire piece, the left hand is moved over by 1/16th note. It's displaced. There are extra measures. There are some beautiful ornamentations that almost sound a little bit jazzy in the right hand.
I'm now going to perform the opening of this 1822 manuscript of Für Elise on my Casio PX S7000 Privia, and a huge thank you to Casio for sponsoring this video and supporting my work.
I love that. I'll tell you why I love it. Because that's like when they do like an x-ray of the Mona Lisa and they find the original sketch behind the Mona Lisa and it's got all the flaws, or it was another painting or whatever. Like finding that out is like finding the audition tape for a Radiohead song where you're like, wow, it totally sounds different. I love that. It's so crazy because that song is so universal. Yet I think we got it wrong more than we got it right, because what ended up becoming the universal one was sounded very little like the one you just heard. I mean, the right hand pretty much stays the same, but that left hand, if you've ever played it, if you ever had to learn to play it, totally different. Chords instead of moving single notes. And then the second verse where the right hand does literally like a jazz thing. It doesn't stay on beat. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that.
I like
How about we
too.
do Music Tuesday for Thursday?
Yes, let's do it. Who's gonna go first?
You can go first.
Sorry, I'm just typing the back door. So my song, I'm gonna lean over. It's gonna be off this album called Never Better. It's the one behind me on the wall, by POS. Little backstory. I went to a concert for one of my favorite bands. This was a while ago. And it was put on by PacSun, like the PacSun that's in the malls that, 12-year-old girls shop at all the time. And they wanted to be very inclusive, so they were like putting two completely different music genres together in this tour. So like I was there to see one of my favorite screamo bands, and they're like, "Hey, let's throw in some hip hop for funsies." And so the guy's name's POS. It stands for Pissed Off Steph. His name is Steph, and he literally got on stage and he goes, "Yeah, I know that none of y'all are here to see me." He's like, because it was on the West Coast, and like just like Cassie said, he's from Minnesota. He's just like, I know none of y'all probably even heard of me. None of y'all are here to see me. He's like, but we're gonna have fun anyways. He's like, we're just gonna party. And so he just started playing. It was one of the coolest shows ever. Like, he put on a great show, got everyone super hyped. Like, he's awesome live. This was actually my first vinyl record I ever bought. He did so well. I bought it from him at his merch booth in the back. And so just super cool dude. He actually started out in a screamo band, but now he does hip hop stuff. Hard to catch him on tour though, because I haven't checked on him lately, but I know for a while he had kidney failure, so he could only tour in places that had dialysis units that he could go to. So super fun. Just like his style of hip hop's a little different. This song I brought today, I really like. Really like the lyrics. It's just kind of like a little thing about not worrying about appearances as much as just being yourself.
Yeah.
So it's called. Oh yeah, go for it.
His hip hop, would you say, is hip hoptional?
Heck yeah. And so yeah, this song's called Purexed.
Purexed by POS. Oh, really quick, just want to say, if you ever watch this show and we do a Music Tuesday and you can't hear the song, it's a little bit out of our control. We upload the episode. Spotify will inevitably and always and eternally, YouTube does the same thing, look for copyrighted content. These songs are copyrighted, but because we're doing reviews of them, it gets a green light. However, Spotify, sometimes it's instant. I'll upload an episode and it's like, you got copyrighted stuff. And then I have to go through this whole process and click, we're allowed to because we're reviewing it, submit. And then it's like, all right, fine, we'll leave it in. But sometimes it can take them days. So if you're caught in that window where you didn't hear the song, that's why. It's not because we're bad at editing. It's because Spotify hasn't gotten back around to re-releasing that portion of the audio. So there you go. Here is Purexed by POS.
I'm trying not to slip, been trying not to lose footing. Loose land keeps that pressure on my kicks. But when I fall, I tend to land like a ton of bricks. Stand like a man made of concrete and sediment, like fuck your skin. Nobody needs it, there's bones, muscle, and blood. What's realer than fat and tendons? It's raw, no soft tissue to draw your eyes to it. So far, flesh ain't the truest at all, let's rip into it. We all sick of the missed shots. Passed over like the last man picked, no team, so pissed off. That's not honesty, that's just soft curves. Got your world flipped, got you making mixtapes for girls. And that's the skin again, let's blame the skin again. Stretching itself so fluidly over these awkward ligaments. And I didn't shave today, I probably won't tomorrow. When it's safe to say I'm never gonna shed these extra. Yeah, so fuck it, back to the wall, crush it. Laugh at them all, hush, let them try to find the beauty in your face. Yeah, something more than a song hating. Oh, come on, dust, let them try to find the beauty in the baseline. Oh, words don't don't sing, the flood fade away. Yeah, we do our own damn thing. We don't blink at what's all my playing at all. Words don't change, we don't sing, the flood fade away. Yeah, we do our own damn thing. We don't blink at what's all my playing at all. In us we trust, no rush for bucks, no sweat, just enough. Them words from love, no hits. I let the track stand, like how it was written is how it hit me. A road cycle kids with the grip, the skid fixies. A road wild kid with a stroll that let it roll like whatever. They kick that gingivitis, them rappers got the itis. Catch me bumping ISIS in a crisis instead of watching y'all counting lead sheep at the same time. What's the science of that? I know that it's sweep where the movement is at. We in that coma capital, spotless home team with hands steadily purexed but never quite clean. Bloody as hell, rarely will I care for that. I don't know, man. Me and Joe like real shit. Fuck it, back to the wall, crush it. Laugh at them all, hush. Let them try to find the beauty in your face. Yeah, something more than a song hating. Oh, come on, dust. Let them try to find the beauty in the bass line. Oh, when the words don't change, we don't sing, the flood fade away. Yeah, we do our own damn thing. We don't blink at what's all like playing at all. Fuck it, back to the wall, crush it. Laugh at them all, hush. Let them try to find the beauty in your face. Yeah, something more than a song hating. Oh, come on, dust. Let them try to find the beauty in the bass line. Oh, when the words don't change, we don't sing, the flood fade away. Yeah, we do our own damn thing. We don't blink at what's all like playing at all.
And that was it.
I like that. I like that a lot.
It's a little like like I said, he started out in like a screamo band, and so he has a lot of like influences from that kind of music. So his hip hop's like a little different. There's a lot of guitars, there's a lot of, drums, there's a lot of different stuff in it. But yeah, he's a cool dude. He's a cool dude. I like him a lot.
Yeah, I like that kind of the anthemic bursts there in the song. Kind of went through a lot of different emotions with that song. It's really nice.
What song did you bring for us
I
today?
brought a song by a guy named Stephen Wilson Jr. Stephen Wilson Jr. is interesting. He kind of reminds me. No, I wouldn't Bob Dylan has a really interesting way of singing. It's you got to like his voice in order to like him. And sometimes it's it becomes part of their brand how quirky their voice is. Stephen Wilson Jr. has a bit of this kind of thing going on. It's almost a reluctance, I would say, to be singing. It's sort of like you get the impression even when you watch him sing, he barely opens his mouth when he sings. You get the impression like it's like a 9-year-old has been forced to sing for their aunt. So it's like happy birthday, but this song is so good. Hardy, who I've had on here before, is on the song called Father's Son, and it just kind of gets me in the gut. So you'll either like it or you won't. Here's Father's Son by Stephen Wilson Jr.
He was named by my grandma, she cut it from the Bible. And he passed it on to me like granddaddy's rifle. Raised me up like sweet corn, credited a disciple. Yeah, I fought it like hell, he became a rival. I tried to be different, tried to go against the grain. Didn't make no difference, I just ended up the same. I've never known better, 'cause every bone's tethered. You wanna change my name, gotta drain my blood. Goddamn, I am my father's son. Yeah, I left town just to get out of the shadow. He'd send me a 20 just to get back on the saddle. I put up a good fight, but I didn't win the battle. I guess a tree don't grow very far from the apple. I never known better, yeah, 'cause every bone's tethered. You wanna change my name, gotta drain my blood. Goddamn, I am my father's son. I am my father's son. I wear his blue jean jacket and his name like a badge of honor. I used to hate being called Junior, but I don't mind any longer. I've never known better, yeah, 'cause every bone's tethered. You wanna change my name, gotta drain my blood. 'Cause everything I am's everything he was. Goddamn, I am my father's son. I am my father's son. I am my father's son.
And there you go.
You're right. He sounds like his jaw has been broken like 12 times.
Yeah, right. I just really I like watching the videos of him play too. He plays this just haggard classical
Yeah,
guitar.
I said that in the chat. I was like, ooh, the classical guitar's coming
Yeah.
out.
It's got that special. I love classical guitars. My parents had one growing up. It's Yamaha that we'd play, and the higher 3 strings on it are 4. Let me think. 4.
Vinyl,
They're catgut.
cat.
Originally, they're a catgut string or gut string. And then the lower 2 are it's a fiber wound with, but it's like an organic fiber, oftentimes wound with wire. So you get this really, it's a very, very wobbly bass, and I love it. I play a lot of guitars, acoustics and electrics and everything, but there's really nothing that comes close to you can't get the same sound you can get out of a classical's low E string.
Yeah. And plus,
a
it
little
helps
bit.
everything's more spread out on the fretboard. You got your wider board.
Yeah.
Because it's made more for picking, not strumming.
Yep.
So you get more room you can do better bends and all that fun stuff and
Yep. I think
make it speak.
That fretboard spread also gives guitar, like flamenco guitar, a very unique sound, because on a normal acoustic, because all the strings are so close together, your strum, time-wise takes less time. And so it sounds very kind of cohesive, but on a classical, because of the spread of the strings, I think you get it opens it up more.
Yeah, it almost sounds like a little mini run.
Yeah, I can. I had a missionary companion who actually teaches professionally now, but he was professionally trained on classical guitar. And I used to just have him, he would practice all the time. So he had a classical guitar and he would sit there. And when he strummed, he would just practice strumming with 3 fingers. Da, 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 da. But I can't even do it. But every time he would strum, his finger would fall asleep again. And it was this practice where the level of relaxation that's involved in classical guitar playing to play right is it's a workout. It's crazy.
It's also easy to spot a classical guitar player in the wild because you look at their picking hand and all their nails are
Long,
super long.
yeah.
Yep.
Or the way they sit with a guitar, they'll put it in between their legs and kind of prop the guitar up. Real, when they're performing and everything, a lot of them will put one foot on a little stand too. It's kind of fun. Anyway, that was father son. Okay, I brought something.
Tell us.
All right, this is gonna be a bit different. I'm doing this one. I wrote this. It's a real story, so I wrote it, but it's a real story. But I thought it'd be cool to write this as the woman who the story's about. So I wrote it in the first person to kind of occlude some details so I could control the narrative a little bit better. So it's all true. Everything you're about to hear is true. I'll start. I'd been in Iceland for 2 days, and I already looked like someone who'd lost a fight with the wind, the kind of wind that had a personal vendetta. My tour bus was parked out by Elja Canyon, this giant crack in the earth that looks like God sneezed halfway through making a volcano and then just left it there. Everyone was stretching their legs, taking photos, and pretending not to be freezing to death in August. I decided to freshen up a bit. I'd been wearing the same clothes for what felt like 3 glaciers worth of time, so I changed in the little light restroom by the canyon entrance. New shirt, different jacket, hair pulled back. When I walked back to the group, I was proud of myself. I looked put together, which is rare for me on vacation. Everyone was milling around, chatting, and loading back on the bus, so I figured, great, no one even noticed I was gone. That should have been my first clue that something was off. A few minutes later, I heard someone say, "Has anyone seen the woman?" The Asian lady, short hair, dark clothes. I look around. There are a few Asian tourists on the bus, but none of them match that exact description. I mean, sure, I'm Asian, but I wasn't wearing dark clothes. Plus, I had a hat now, completely different person. The bus driver looked anxious, doing that thing where he keeps counting and recounting the passengers like he's trying to summon a different number. Finally, he sighs and says, "We can't leave yet. Someone's missing." I glance out at the landscape thinking, wow, Iceland really is dangerous. Imagine being lost out there with no signal and no snacks. So when they asked for volunteers to help look for her, I said, of course I'll help. I mean, what kind of monster would stay on the warm bus while someone's lost in the wilderness? So soon, we're about 50 of us walking around in jackets, flashlights in hand, yelling over the wind, "Hello, can you hear us?" Like we're auditioning for a ghost hunting show. Someone from the tour read out the description again. Female, Asian, about 5'2", speaks English. Last seen wearing dark clothing. I remember thinking, wow, this poor woman sounds like me if I was still wearing my bus outfit. Then I moved on because obviously she wasn't me. Hours passed. The temperature dropped. People were tired, but they're determined. The search team started coordinating with local authorities. They even talked about bringing in a helicopter. A helicopter for this lady who vanished somewhere between a bathroom break and the world's most polite tour group. I admired her dedication. I even joked with another tourist that whoever this woman was, she's going to owe us a drink when we found her. By midnight, it was chaos, flashlights bouncing through the canyon, everyone yelling into the darkness. I was exhausted, standing there with my hands in my pockets, listening to people shout her description for what felt like the 100th time. Asian, 5'2", speaks English, dark clothes. Then someone mentioned something small that finally clicked in my brain. The timing of when she went missing. They said she got off the bus around 5 p.m. to freshen up. My stomach dropped. I'd gotten off the bus around 5 p.m. to freshen up. And then it hit me like an Icelandic wind in the face. They were looking for me. I literally had joined the search party for myself. I'd been hiking through the canyon yelling, hello, when I really should have been yelling was, guys, it's me. You found me. Let's go. So I walked up to the nearest police officer and said, I think I'm the missing person. He blinked and started laughing, and that laugh spread through the whole group like wildfire. Someone clapped. Someone hugged me. The bus driver looked like he wanted to quit his job forever. By 3 a.m., the whole ordeal was over. No one was hurt, just one deeply embarrassed tourist who had changed her outfit a little too well. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how I became the only person in Icelandic history to successfully find herself. I just loved the whole thing. I was like, you kidding me? That's crazy.
Yeah. We've all done the thing where we're looking for that thing that we probably have in our hand. Like, where's my phone? And you use your phone light to try to find your phone. Or, like I think you gave a story of your mom. She had like 2 pairs of glasses in her hair, and she was looking for her glasses.
Yeah.
And it's just, but that's like hold my beer level.
Yeah. I've been working out with my brother Jake, who over the last year, he's completely transformed into a mountain. And so he's been graciously dragging me to the gym, and I'm still in that mode where I'm letting him because I'm not quite, I've never, like I've said before, I've never been a motivational guy. I think I have a oppositional defiance disorder where if you were in the gym trying to motivate me and you're like 2 more, and I get to 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you said 2 more, I'm like, no, I'm done. I don't know why. I've just always kind of been that way. But he's really good, works with me. And there's this thing that we do at the end of some of our sets. And it's called AMRAP. And it's as many repetitions as possible. And it is intended to stop your muscles from finishing. And you don't do it heavy. That's dangerous. You can injure yourself. But AMRAPs with a light weight, like sometimes it's embarrassingly light. Like yesterday, I was doing shoulder workouts, and we were against one of the cages where you rack the big 45-pound bar for big weight. And we had used various weights through all of our sets for this, and the final set was an AMRAP. And I was like, I don't care how it looks. I'm just using the bar. I'm not putting any weight on it. And so I'm standing there, and I'm like, whoop, 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 whoop above my head. And you rub the bar against the rack for a good form, and you get underneath it, and you just go up and down and up and down. And I started, and it's 45 pounds, felt lighter than everything I had done. I'm 12, 15 reps, 18 reps, 21 reps. And then my muscles just like, guess what? I don't have anything else in me. And it was so wild. It's kind of like what you were just saying. There was nothing I could do. My brain was just sending signals, but my shoulders weren't going to do anymore. It was over. And, but what's interesting is there are ways to fool your body into giving you another 1 or another 2. It's crazy.
Like screaming.
Yeah,
grunting.
for me, it's not somebody telling me 2 more
It's
for
all
me,
the things you get kicked out of Planet Fitness for.
Yeah.
The other thing that works is smelling salts.
Yeah, I've heard. I've watched Theo Vaughn and Joe Rogan smell smelling salts, and I'm not quite sure I want to do that.
It sucks. I've had smelling salts used on me once. I was doing blood work. After living in third world countries, usually they say, "Hey, you should probably go get a blood works done." And so I was getting mine done. And for some reason that day, I don't know why, but I just decided to pass out.
Oh,
And so the phlebotomist person, they literally kept smelling salts on the back of their little name badge, and just all of a sudden it felt like my whole entire sinus and head was on fire, and I wasn't passing out anymore. Like I was
Hey.
literally like, half a second away from just sleepy times, and all of a sudden I'm like, I'm awake. I was like, what is happening? I'm on fire. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm good.
yeah, it's crazy, the body, like what we
Mhm.
can do. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. Stop me if I have. My sister Katie, she's a flexologist. She's like pro. She's
Oh
like,
yeah.
it's crazy. She stretched me this one time. I think I've mentioned this.
Hmm.
And I couldn't. We went to where I stopped, and then she's like, now push against me, which is the last thing you want to be doing when somebody's pushed your tendon to its
The
brink.
limit.
You want them to just let go, but she's like, push against it now. And I was like, fine, I did it. And then the next
And
time
while
she
you did
pushed,
it, the song in the background was "Push It to the Limit."
yep,
And you were really in an '80s montage,
and I did it,
and you did it.
and I did it, and I waxed on and waxed off. And when I was done waxing off, then she pushed it again, and my leg was like super flexible. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm Baryshnikov now. Yeah, it's crazy what the body can do when we give it a little
When you
bit
put
of
well,
patience.
the other thing is that our brain, scientifically proven, our brain puts limiters on us,
Yeah.
mostly to prevent injury.
Hmm.
But yeah, you can go farther than you think you can. It's just a part of it's just a mind trick, because your brain just goes, we don't want to go that hard because we might be tearing stuff if we do.
Yeah. The guys that I say I don't like, the type A that I say I never follow, they figured out the brain can do that for success too. It's like
Mhm.
there are ways to get yourself out of your own way. I think it was Jocko Willink that said that the brain actually creates new wiring when we do things we don't want to do.
They
And
covered that on Joe Rogan too. There's a there's a part in your brain that athletes and very successful businessmen, they have a part in their brain that it actually works better than the average person, and they say it's part of that rewiring of you're growing that section of your brain when you do things you don't want to do.
Hmm.
And so it's like a muscle, and it starts to become easier for you over time to do things that you don't want to do, and do them well. It's like a weird, yeah.
I don't know if
A
it's
weird thing.
a creative burden or what category I'd put it into, but I never feel like what I'm doing in the day is gotta make the donuts. Like I never feel like I'm afforded the ability to have an entire day of click clunk, click clunk, click clunk. And I envy that. I envy click clunk sometimes because I'm like, I don't want to learn anymore. I don't want to reinvent. I don't want to invent again. And I'm sitting on a whole bunch of invent right now, I think is why I'm saying that, because a lot of what I'm doing right now, I think in my life is staring at a lot of what I tend to do, which is you've worked with me long enough, I ideate quite a bit. Right now it's a bit out of survival. Like 1150, I've mentioned it before, 1159 doesn't pay the bills. I hate to say that. I don't know, the community will never die, but it doesn't pay the bills. So I'm trying to figure out what to do about things, and I just don't like it. I don't like inventing again. I'm never going to get a job, so it's me and my brain and some massive prayer, and what's next? It's
And
weird.
hoping
If
for the
anyone's
best.
like if that's heartbreaking to anybody, I mean, there's some science behind it. Our community is amazing, but the community's been hard fought and grown over years. And when the community takes a hit, you can't just buy new community. You know, $5 a month isn't paid by people who've hurt us once.
Yeah.
You know, it's paid by people that are loyal and have developed an appreciation. So, it's something I don't take for granted anymore. You know, when you build something, you know, nurture it. Crazy.
Yeah, it's hard.
Anyway, I thought that was a pretty good episode, Chase. I thought you did a pretty good job. I'm saying that now because for the last several episodes, we've stopped the show and the back door apparently can still hear us. We have this like routine where we'll pick a random number and we'll see the chat still going on the side and we'll be like 52 if you can hear us. The chat, we've stopped the show. We've stopped recording. And then, you know, people will be like, 52.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up with that. It feels intrusive, but I'm also proud to say that when we stop the show, if there's ever been a convincing moment that we are who we say we are, is we stop the show and it's like the show didn't stop because we don't change our tune. We're not like, oh, wow, we're all fat people, you know, oh, racist comment. You know, we're just ourselves, and I kind of take relief in that. Like, I never have a butt pucker moment. Like, what did we say? Did we say, you know?
Yeah, we're not like what's his name, Jimmy Buffett, and his whole Margaritaville thing, and he is the complete opposite in real life. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, he's like type A personality. He is not laid back at all. He does not wear Hawaiian shirts. He he is literally the complete opposite of his whole Margaritaville.
It's an act,
persona. Yeah.
And I'm okay with that if you're honest about it, right? Like if he's like, yeah, it's not my whole thing. It's a shtick. I built it and now I live off of it. You know, I'd be cool with that. Actually, I'd pay to watch what he's like when he's not Margaritaville. You know, that's curious to me. That'd be fun. I'd probably like him more because I hate the Margaritaville version. I can't stand that. Like every time I hear Margaritaville, I just remember walking into this secretary's office at a real estate agency where I was the creative director, and everything around her was pictures of beaches. Her screensaver was beaches. She'd play Margaritaville. She did it because she did nothing but look forward to her next vacation from her terrible job.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what a sad way to live life, you know? It's like you suffer just so you can get to the beach and then you come back and you hate everybody.
Yeah.
That's all I think about it. Cheeseburger in Paradise comes on. I'm like, oh, poor lady.
Yeah. And she's just like, I'm on a beach. She has her little fan. I'm on a beach. I'm on a beach. I'm on a beach.
And I remember like she like a ship sailing away and she's on the edge waving. When she was going on vacation, she'd come through. She'd be like, I'm going on vacation. F you. F you. I hope you're not here anymore when I come back. Like it was like she was quitting her job every time.
Yeah.
But you know, she'd been there so long, everybody kind of took it in stride, but she hated it.
Yeah.
She hated life. I don't want to get to that point. Ever. I don't think I could. I enjoy my life way too much. I was thinking about that.
I love my life.
I love writing and sitting at my kitchen table and just being bombarded by my girls all day long. I was sitting there writing yesterday and I hear in the other room, because we converted the den into like where school happens. Mona's out with me and she's in an online history class. She's on a Zoom call bemoaning how crappy the Zoom connection was. But I hear in the other room, I hear my wife like, okay, so what's Estrella mean? And Bean's like, is that when a dog's lost? She's like, no. And so later I was like, what was going on in there? She's like, well, I'm putting her in a Spanish class. And, you know, in between, before and after, I kind of work on some words with her. And I'm like, that's fun. That's my day. I get it. So I'm missing them. I'm going to go in and get bombarded again before I have to go back to the gym with my brother and cry a lot.
What is Estrella? Is it Star?
Star.
Yes.
Star.
I'm bilingual again.
if you ever find a Spanish map and you're like, map, what's your name? It'll say, I'm a map. I'm a map. I'm a map. I've talked about it before. There's never been a songwriter that should have been fired faster, but at the same time has created some of the most epic earworms in history.
I think
the terrible guy that wrote those songs.
There's a comedian who rips on that. He has a whole set on it. I'm a map.
Also, the show is Dora the Explorer, if anyone's wondering what we're talking about. And the show is about, Dora, and she speaks Spanish. Why didn't they, maybe is somebody in the back door? What's the Spanish word for map? I'm hoping it's not map.
Spanish word for map.
Mappa.
Well, depends on if it's a boy map or a girl map. It depends if it's a boy map or a girl map.
Is that gendered? I know that the language has feminine and masculine in it. I wonder.
Google says mappa, but maybe
Hola,
Google...
soy mapo.
Or you can call it El Plano.
Tater says it's Mapo. I believe Tater. Tater's the smart one. Actually, I was thinking of Tater a lot when I was creating the Easy Bake Coven shirt. Thinking if there's a shirt that fits anyone, it's Tater. Easy Bake Coven.
Easy Bake Coven.
I like it. Anyway, that's all I got. That's all you got.
Yep.
We are done. Happy birthday to Liz again.
And for those who are listening to this, who knows when, probably happy weekend.
Happy weekend. Soup, soup, everybody.
Bye.
So, soup, soup, let's start the show.